We get this question a lot. Let me get you centered there. What actually happens at final walkthrough when you buy a home? Today I'm going to tell you, but I'm also going to tell you what to watch out for as a home buyer. So as a home buyer, your last step is to do a final walkthrough the day of or the night before closing, just to make sure everything is in good shape and looks exactly as you expect it, and that all the furniture has been moved out that's supposed to be moved out, and that nothing has been left in the house that you don't want or that was not agreed to. Home walkthroughs can turn into a whole bunch of things. I'm going to give you some ideas of what to check and also what not to worry too much about. But again, if you're buying a home, you're always going to be doing a final walkthrough right before you close. I know because I've been investing for more than 30 years and I run a big real estate team with almost 30 agents. My name is Jonathan Green. Our team is Streamline Properties on Market, brokered by eXp Realty. And part of what we do is make sure our clients are touching all the bases at the final walkthrough, make sure that it looks like the home that they agreed to buy. And again, that nothing is left there. So when you show up for your walkthrough, you're very close to closing. It's a tough spot for buyers because you're about to close. Sometimes you have to move. You don't want any issues to come up, but it's very important that you check all the things in the house. That means flushing the toilets, turning on the water, turning the stove on, making sure that everything is in working order as you expected it, and then going around the house and making sure that nothing was left in the house that you don't want or that you didn't agree to keep. It comes up sometimes where there are just some things that sellers interpret that a buyer may want, like a lawnmower, definitely keep it, but you don't even know if it works. The one thing that I'll say is okay when people leave there is old tile that matches the tile in the house, old paints that match the paint in the house, just in case you want to know the same color. These things are super helpful. I would never get bent out of a shape if I was a buyer representing a buyer and that stuff was there. Anything that's like good lawn equipment, I don't have a problem with. That's super helpful. And a lot of sellers are trying to be helpful. They don't need it where they're going. I mean, if somebody leaves you a snowblower, good job. Like, as long as it works, that's great. But on the other hand, if you show up and there's a bunch of furniture in the basement, that's not your problem to move. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold money in escrow until that is remedied, which means you can still close, but whatever amount, $1,000, $500, is put to the side until that's remedied, and then it's paid out either that way or the money is given back. So in New Jersey and in most states, the requirement for sellers is to leave the house broom swept and empty of any debris and or furniture. Again, that wasn't agreed to. If you agree to take on a pool table, it should be down there with all the equipment. But broom swept means not necessarily you had a whole cleaning service come in, although that's nice when sellers do that. It just means that there's not a bunch of garbage on the ground, dust, real garbage, which happened to me. Uh, and that the house is in general working order. You know, part of what happens during home inspections is you make requests, the repairs are made. You want all that proof already to be to you before you get to that final walkthrough, because then you have documents that show the stuff has been completed, because you may go and you're not sure what it looks like when the asbestos is gone, but as long as they have verified reports, it is something that you could use later if you needed to. But checking the bathrooms, faucets, and things like that is very important. Obviously, if it's the winter, if it's freezing in there, you want to make sure the heat works. These are things that sometimes sellers forget. You know, they turn the heat off for the last couple of days. They want to save some money, could freeze the pipes. So there's always things like that that come up. But again, just like inspections, a final walkthrough isn't a fishing expedition to look for more potential credits. You're just about to close the deal. So if it looks and feels and just like you expected and there's no issues and there's a couple cans of paint, it's really not a big deal. I know it's annoying to have to throw somebody else's stuff out, but like I'm just making sure that the house is in great shape like I expected. And again, that's all you can ask for. Last time, if things do come up, like the refrigerator's not there, something doesn't work, all those remedies are either not close or keep money in an escrow account, which means it's held aside until those repairs are done and completed. So those are realtor options. It's not something to worry about. The final home walkthrough is really the celebration point where after we're done with this, we're going to go to the closing, get the keys, probably go back to the house. So you're just making sure that it went well. I really think that part of the reason that when walkthroughs go really well, it's because the idea was to have a win-win transaction. And that's based on the agents, attorneys. Are we all working together so that all parties in this agreement are happy? A lot of times when there's been huge disagreements or the whole deal has been a fight, that's a time where you might see a little bit of extra stuff in the house or things done that you wish had not been done just because it wasn't smooth. So, as agents, we're always trying to make sure that we're keeping it on the win-win track and that there's a plus at the end for all. Seller walks away with the money, buyer walks away with a new house and keys and a new life in a new neighborhood. Hope this has been helpful. Again, if you ever had any questions about home inspections, final walkthrough, buying a home, selling a home, investing anywhere, we got you covered. Streamlined with a D, dot properties. Have a great day.